mean Friday.
What up, though? And welcome to the Hood Report. Joining us today are the usual suspects, Martin, Quentin, and Tweety. Today we have a very interesting set of things we're going to be discussing with you today. So, certainly looking forward to today's episode and the opportunity to go through these things. Let me see. Camera not working. Right. So for that, on the discussion topics for today, we're going to talk about the very big mega fight coming up in September. So we got Bud Crawford against Canelo Alvarez. We're going to talk lots of NBA action and lots of NBA happenings over the course of the last week or so. So quite a bit to talk there and unpack there, and talk through who we think may have further enhanced their chances going into next season. And then with a wide open Eastern Conference, then a move here, move there in the Eastern Conference could prepare you to championships. So we're going to talk about the moves that were made in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference combined, and then we're going to close up. We're nearing the midway point for Major League Baseball, so we're going to close up and we're going to talk some baseball and talk about what we think is going to happen as we go into the break, and then coming out of it as shifting and jostling and things start to happen. What we expect to see happen towards the end. So, hey, welcome on. We welcome all of our guests that will be joining, have joined on, and will be joining on for today's podcast, and look forward to kicking it.
Welcome to Hood Report, peoples.
So starting off, we're going to start off with the boxing. We've not talked boxing yet, so we're going to put it first on the docket is boxing. We're going to start with something that we haven't. So first off, I think the elephant in the room for me is Crawford is moving up in weight to take on Canelo for the super middleweight title. Do you think that helps or hurts his chances as you look at and evaluate the fight? Let's go ahead and let's go with Martin. Why don't you go first?
He just ain't moving up in weight. I mean, he moving up like 20 pounds. I mean, this is a major move up in weight. I personally think that's probably gonna hurt him, because I think ain't nothing wrong with moving up, but making that big jump like that, and then not taking no tuna fight for that big jump, that might hurt him. But yeah, so if you just asking about that, about just moving up, will it hurt him? I think that will. I think he should have took another tuna fight, because that's a big major jump up in weight to be moving. And then your first opponent is Canelo. So yeah, I think if you think about that aspect of the fight, I think that's gonna hurt him. Yeah, that hurt Crawford.
What do you think, Tweety?
Hopefully it don't hurt him. I love to see Crawford Bud fight these fights. And you're right, moving up from 135, 168.
Yeah. Well, he was middleweight.
147.
Yeah, 147. Yeah. So he middleweight. He's going to super middleweight.
That's real tough, putting on all that weight and trying to fight that boy Canelo. That boy Canelo's gonna test him. Yeah, but Crawford is he pound for pound ranked number 3 in the world right now. Yeah. And no other American is ranked that high and for pound, so we'll see where that goes. But I want to see this fight. This fight is gonna be mega. It's gonna be big, and it's right here in Vegas.
Right. Yeah. That's it right there. We're all a big fight.
What do you think, Q? What do you think?
Well, I feel with both of what Martin and Tweety was saying. Like I feel like early on, the weight could help him. It can make him stronger. His punches could be a little more impactful. But as the fight goes on, then the weight hurts you. Like Martin's saying, and now you become slow and sluggish, and your stamina ain't what it was. So maybe you should have took a tune-up fight or something beforehand. But in the same token, I want to see the brother win. So I'm hoping that it don't hurt him too bad. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think what you've seen with Crawford, Crawford is very strategic about his fights and very picky, so he doesn't just go out and fight anybody. So I didn't. I mean, it'd have been nice if he took a tune up, but I didn't expect him to do so because he fights one maybe two times a year at the most. Crawford not a high frequency fighter, so it doesn't surprise me that he didn't take one on. I think from a weight perspective, I meant to look at the stats, but I don't know what his normal everyday walk around weight is. So if he is walking around heavier, then obviously it's less of an impact if he normally walks around heavier. Whereas if he walks around closer to his previous fighting weight as a middleweight, then it could have more of an impact on him. So I think him being strategic about what he does, I think he understands the risk. So I think he's playing the strategy, and I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine with that, and be able to make it through. I think the big thing is as you look at the fight, I would ask each of you guys, and I'll start this one off, is what do you think each fighter needs to do strategically in order to win the fight? I think for Bud, looking at his side of things, I think Bud has got to be active. And he's got to outbox and by similar to what he did when he fought against what's the
Earl Spence Jr.?
Yes, when he beat Spence, I think he got to beat him with activity. I think he got to beat him with activity. I think he got to be very active. I think he got to keep his hands going and outbox Canelo in order to keep Canelo on the outside. I think that's going to be the key to the fight for Bud and Bud winning because he's, in this case, not naturally a bigger guy. Stay out the corners, be very active, and beat him to the punch, which I think he's capable of doing. I think on the side of Canelo, if it's Canelo, I think strategically for him, he wants to make this a brawl. He wants to get in, he wants to push, he wants to hold, you want to grab, you want to keep him in corners, you want to put pressure on him as much as possible to see if he can stand up to Canelo's punches. Now, both of them were small fighters that moved up. Right, yeah. So I don't think that, and so neither one of them have natural punching power for this weight class. But Canelo's been there longer, so he's seated in that weight a little bit longer than Bud, or a lot longer than Bud. So I think that gives him the advantage. But I think he's got to make it a brawl in order to have an opportunity to be able to win it. He's got to make it a physical fight, and not allow himself to be kept on the outside. He's got to be aggressive. I would say, who else wants to weigh in next on that part?
I just want to weigh in. I mean, Bud is a very good counter puncher. So I think, I think the way the fight gonna go is, I think Canelo is gonna be coming towards him, and but Bud he got the speed and he got the skill to be a very good counter puncher because that's what he is. That's one of his best attributes. It is his counter punching. So I think Canelo. Like you mentioned, Canelo got to come after him. But I think with Crawford's speed and skill and his counter punching ability, I think that's going to play into Crawford's way to win because he's very good at that. Yeah. But Canelo, that's for Crawford, but for Canelo, like you said, Canelo got to just turn into a brawl. He got to come all out, straightforward, keep coming at him. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, it's his first fight. They'll be in this weight stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think Canelo has to do that if Canelo has a chance. Yeah. So, but
I agree with that. Which they Q?
Crawford got a counter punch.
Yeah. I think you hit it on the head, Martin, with the way he got to come in bulldog style and kind of charge it. But like you say, that more plays into what Crawford likes to do, because if you charging at him, counter punching is what he likes to do, and he's quick enough to handle it. So on Crawford's end, only thing that's gonna worry about Crawford is coming up in the weight, and if it goes later in rounds, then I don't know if he's going to be as quick as we used to seeing him at the lower weight. So that may come into play a little bit if Canelo can make the fight go a little bit longer and I think that plays into Canelo's favor if he can prolong the fight and just keep it, take it all the way out as long as possible for him.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to come down to who's in the middle of the ring, because if Canelo pushes Bud to them ropes and to that corner, it's going to be a long night for him. So, and I just think I think Bud just needs to have it in the middle of the ring where he can do the counter punch. He can use his defense. He can use his speed. He can use his intelligence, and just stay in the middle of this ring and block all them shots, dodge all them shots. So it's gonna be a great fight, and I just think that Canelo, he needs to put him in the corner for him to win. He needs to put him on them ropes. He needs to get them body shots. That's what's gonna make Canelo win, because he got a jaw. He got one of them jaws that if it doesn't bother him if you hit him right in the face. So it's gonna be a hell of a fight. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, betting odds have Canelo as a slight favorite currently. So betting odds are saying Canelo. So I'm gonna ask each one of you guys, who are you picking for the fight and why? So go ahead, Tweety. Why don't you tell us who are you picking for the fight and why?
I'm picking Bud. I want Bud. I want Bud to win. I want Bud to win. I want to see who he comes out of the locker room with. Last time it was Eminem. Let's see who come out with this time. It was Eminem last time he came out. So we're gonna see who comes out with him. So I want Bud to win, and let's see what happens.
Okay. All right, Q. What do you think for the fight?
I'm surprised, Tweety. I thought you was going with America's Man, because you like to go with America's Man, all the time. So I was really surprised that you came to to the hood side. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said,
I got interest in both.
I hear that, brother. I hear that. So with that being said, I think that this fight is going to be for Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for him to step up, become a 3-time, undisputed champ. First time in history to do that. I'm ready for him to do that. I think he can do it, and I'm rooting for the brother. So, fuck the odds. Let's go with the brother.
Okay. All right, Martin. What do you think for the fight? Who you taking and why?
I'm taking Crawford. I'm taking Crawford, and I'm taking Crawford because I think Crawford's going to outbox him. Better skill, speed. He's going to be able to stay away from Canelo, and he's going to be out. He's going to outbox him. The one time that I seen Canelo fight a superior fighter with the skill and the speed, it was Floyd. And Floyd took him to school. I know he was way younger, but when you put him in there with a skilled boxer like a Floyd, like a Crawford, I think he's going to be totally outmatched. To be honest with you, I think he's going to be totally outmatched. And if Crawford fight a smart fight and stay away and move around, counter punch, I think he can win easy. Actually, I do.
Easy?
I think you win easy. I think he's gonna because he's gonna outbox him.
Yeah, I think he win by points.
Outbox him with that speed and that skill.
It's going to distance.
Yep. I think he's gonna go the distance, but I think Crawford gonna win easy. I do. I think Crawford gonna win 8 out of the 12 rounds.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna weigh in. I guess it's going to be a unanimous here. And what I would say is this: this is just a reality take. I think Crawford is a great black boxer. The only thing that beats a great black boxer is another black boxer. So I don't think Canelo has the skills to be able to box with him. I think Crawford, once again, and you guys have mentioned and hit it, I think the counter punching, I think he's a good defensive fighter. I think he's very strategic in his opponents. I think if this is a heavy risk, I don't think he takes the fight. So I think he strategically went after this fight. I think he is going to be able to win because he's going to be able to box, keep the distance. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Canelo are going to catch him a couple times. And Canelo's going to come in and take some punches. He's not scared to take punches. So, and Canelo, by me saying what I'm saying, Canelo's a great fighter too. But I think Bud is a better boxer between the two of them. Yeah. And I think in this case, boxing is going to outweigh fighting. So I think the boxer is going to beat the fighter. and I think Bud wins the fight and comes away the unanimous winner of the fight. Probably not in an ultra close fight. I think it'll probably be 7 rounds. He'll probably win 7-5 or 8-4 or something like that is what I would expect because I think he'll be able to outbox him and keep the distance and not let Canelo get in too close. So that's my thought on the fight. So I think the last one for the last couple of things we'll ask for the fight, then we'll move on. So if Crawford pulls off the upset, where does that take him on the pound for pound rankings? Mentioned he was number 3 before, and then on the other side of that, if Canelo wins, does this make Canelo the best fighter of this era? So once again, if Canelo wins, does it make him the best fighter of the era, beating a tough opponent in Crawford, or if Crawford wins, does it make him? What does it do for him as far as the rankings on the pound for pound rankings for boxers? So Mark, why don't you go ahead and take that one first?
I think on both sides, whoever wins this fight is going to take that. Well, for sure, if Crawford win this fight, yeah, he will move up right now, and he would be the number 1 best pound for pound fighter in the world because by him moving from that weight up to 20 pounds in weight in one fight, and then taking one of the best fighters that's out there right now, you got to put him on top of the list if he can get this win. You have to put him on top. As for Canelo, for this era, he would be up there for mention as well because this is a big fight for him as well. So and he done proved that he done fought some decent opponents. I think this will put him up there for probably the best fight of this era. Now, when we say this era, how far are we talking about here? Because I'm gonna go out. We're not going back too far here now.
But we're talking about 20 last 10 years. Yeah, last 10 years.
Yeah, he would be up there to mention for sure because he would be up there mentioning too. 62-2. He got a couple of losses, but he done took on a lot of fights, a lot of good opponents. So he will be up there for mention for the era. Being one of the top fighters in the era. So I think both of them, it's gonna push whoever wins this fight is gonna push either one of them up there. Well, Crawford for sure would be the number 1 right now, pound for pound, and then it would most definitely boost up Canelo as well for one of the best fighters of this era.
Right. Okay. All right. What do you think, Twitty?
Yeah, I agree. If Bud wins, if Crawford wins, he's gonna be number 1 pound for pound fighter of his weight of this pound for pound fighter. He gonna move up from 3 to 1. All right. So that's what I think. He's just gonna move up, and he's still gonna be undefeated, and he's gonna be number 1.
42-0 if he wins. 42-0 if he wins.
42, but he ain't 50-0. But okay.
Yeah, 42-0 ain't good enough.
42, that's great. No, that's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's unbelievable.
It's great.
Okay, but if Canelo wins, he's gonna move up to at least top 10 pound for pound because he beat number 3. If you beat number 3, you gotta be top 10 in pound for pound. So
how about him for the era though? We're talking bigger. We're talking bigger than that. And Canelo not being, if I didn't look at where he was. If he's not in the top 10, then that's fucking bullshit. Canelo's top 10. He's the top 10. He's the top 10 fighter.
I don't agree with that.
In the rankings, he's not top 10.
I think he is.
Yeah. So he that's where he gonna move to if he beat Crawford.
Yeah.
So right now he's not.
I say it's bullshit if he's not.
Yeah, that's a bad way. Canelo was
exactly.
Canelo deserved to be in top 5 right now.
Yeah, sure. He's one of the top fighters.
He's not.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, Q, what you think?
That's even for a upgrade. You moving into the top 10 right now.
He should be there already.
Crawford. But so that's where he at. He's not in there, but that's where he at. So.
Yeah.
Well, for Crawford, this would make make history. We already know that. He will become 3-time win the championship in 3 different divisions. So it would be history, and that would put him on the pedestal. But on the same token, if Canelo was to win, it's almost as he slayed the dragon. You know what I'm saying? So it's equally both important for both of them. It can boost them both for different reasons. In the same fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping it's Crawford, but hey, it could very well just put Canelo on the top two. And solidify his career too.
It could.
Yeah, I say this. I say it's probably less gain initially for Canelo if he wins. Meaning, I think initially he won't get because he's fighting a smaller guy. So big guy, fighting smaller guy, expectations that he wins. But I think once things are said and done and his career is over, then you look back at the resume, and if he were to beat Crawford, then I think the resume speaks very highly of him beating a quality fucking fighter and probably potentially a great fighter. The motherfucker's 41-0, right? Yeah. So a great fighter. And Crawford, I think history will look positively upon that, and I think it'll over the long term, it'll have him probably cemented as the best fighter of this modern era, right? I think for Bud, I think he got validation in his last fight because he completely dominated Spence. He dominated Spence from the first bell to the last motherfucking bell. He dominated Spence. I think this is the cherry on top, and I think what that does for him is 100%. You going in against, contrary to him looking at it strategically and him thinking he has a good matchup, Canelo was a dangerous fucking fighter. So I think him going into it and taking the fight, Canelo was one that it can look good on paper, but then you get caught by one and you can lose. So I think Canelo's that kind of fighter. So I think for Bud, hands down, without a doubt, he takes this fight, he wins this fight, then Bud's got to be considered pound for pound the best fighter in the world, without a doubt. In an era when motherfuckers duck and dodge and motherfuckers don't fight each other and this motherfucker will bypass that motherfucker. Like, the shit pisses me off with boxing more than anything. That's the thing that's killer. But for him to take on this fight, I give him credit for taking it because it's a dangerous fight regardless. And it could go your way or not go your way. So, yeah, this cements him as the number one pound for pound in the world in my book.
Hey, just one thing. He better, now, we all pick Bud, and we hope Bud win, but I'm tell you something. He better come in focused. Yeah. Because I have seen him in a couple of fights where, he didn't come in focused, and he came real close to losing because when he fought Sean Porter. Yeah,
Porter had him. Porter was leading that fight.
He was winning that fight. He just got caught like the 7th or 8th round, and then it kind of messed him up. Yeah. But Porter was winning that fight, I'm telling you. And so he better come in focused big time because Canelo is a very good fighter, and Canelo knows that he has to come forward and he has to attack and do everything. So Crawford better be focused. He better be focused, or he's gonna be in trouble.
Okay. Well, I just did my research real quick, and Canelo is number 8 on the ranking all the time.
Oh, your more janky ass stats of yours. I knew he had to be in the top 10. I just look it up.
He should be higher than that.
Yeah, he should be
higher than that. But
hey, we have to call our stat guy for now. We can't trust Tweety with the stats. Tweety fucking up. He ain't even in the top 10. Like, god damn. He about to have a look. Hey, he about to have a look goofy to the motherfucker on the podcast and shit. Oh, he ain't in the top 10.
I had to retract my statement.
They gonna be like, look, did you watch them niggas? They don't even know the Canelo in the top 10. All right, baby, here it go. Okay. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna talk the shit we always talk, that we love to talk, because hey, this is us. Basketball is life, and life is basketball until football season starts up. But
that's right.
Be it we're talking basketball. Basketball is the kingpin today. So looking at the NBA and free agency, I want to know first off, what teams impressed you with the moves that they made so far in offseason? Be it there's still a lot of free agents out there, so it's still a lot of opportunity, but what you've seen so far, what teams have impressed you, and do you think, number one, have impressed you, and then number two, have really helped themselves going into next season? I'm not talking winning championships yet, so don't go there yet. Just who have impressed you and who you think has enhanced their chances going into next year. Q, we're going to let you run it first. I know you're going Pistons first, so go ahead.
I'm going to go to the Western Conference first.
Oh, shit. He going to the Western Conference. But before I said it, the motherfucker's going to go to the Pistons. Trust me, you. But I will tell you, they made some good pickups. Your boys did. All right, but go ahead, Q. What you think?
Well, in the Western Conference, somebody said y'all motherfuckers is playing checkers, and I'm playing chess, and that's them damn Houston Rockets. Them Houston Rockets went out there and they built Voltron on these motherfuckers, boy. They are ready and they are strapped up. You know, when they was already good, but then when they went and got Capella and the other couple moves, I was said, oh my God, this team is deep out of control. So that's the Western Conference right there. Go ahead, Tweety. What you got to say?
No, I said you said Capella, huh?
Yeah, Capella's a great pickup. Oh, he's a great pickup.
For their system, the way they played it, they play defense.
Oh my God, he's great for them.
Really good.
Oh yeah, then they picked up Finney and Finney Smith, and picked up Finney Smith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yes, that was the other guy, Finney Smith. Yes,
yeah.
Man, great pickup. So and then you know, of course we go on that Easter conference.
Here we go. I knew it wouldn't be that long, people. I knew it wouldn't be that long, babe. I knew it wouldn't be that long. Go ahead, Q.
Detroit showed their ass and went out there and went and got blue.
Yeah.
They went and got blue on us, Martin.
They
What
would
you
get
got to say? There's the first and Duncan.
Yeah.
We can turn this into Blue Central.
Hey,
I'm
gonna tell you, quiet as kept. Both of them are great pickups because fucking Duncan Robinson shooting the ball. Oh my God.
And Levert can put the ball in the basket. Yeah. And a good defender.
Yeah.
Which one?
Levert.
Yeah.
Levert's a good defender as well.
Duncan ain't great.
Duncan ain't gonna guard nobody. He ain't guard nobody.
He just ever shooter.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see the Pistons building off of what they off of their last season, and that's really nice. Trajan Langdon, the GM, is doing a fine job up there.
That punk ass Duke dude. Punk ass motherfucker for Duke. Fuck Trajan Langdon. Anyway, I don't know why you brought his name up. Fuck him. Oh,
right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You anybody else, Q, you want to hit or you? If so, we transition over.
No. We go ahead. We transfer somebody.
Go ahead, Martin. Martin, what you think?
For the West, I mean, the obvious is Houston for sure. I mean, I know Q mentioned that, and I think we all know Houston did a good job. But I think Denver Nuggets did. I mean, they did pretty good. And they did pretty good in this free agency market too. Picking up Bruce Brown, which he was there for, won a championship with him. Yeah. But to me, that Cam Johnson move and getting Porter out there because Porter was no kind of
Porter was shit.
I think Cam is a better player, a better all around player. Plays defense as well.
More consistent shooter.
That's gonna make them better. They picked up Tim Hardaway Jr. as well. That's I mean he's a good bench player off the bench. And then I'm not big on what's his name?
Valanciunas. Yeah.
But for a backup, I think that's a good pickup for your backup center. So I think Denver did a very good job of trying to get back in the game. They still got their core, which is Murray and Joker. So I think Denver did a good job. I think Denver did a good job. I think Dallas picking up D'Angelo Russell was a good pickup.
I think that was a hell of a pickup.
I think that was a good pickup. And seemed to because Kyrie gonna be out for a little bit. So then when you come back. When you come back, you got
off the bench.
Russell coming off the bench. Yeah, I think that was a very good move that's going to help them out in the long run.
Yeah,
I think that was going to be legit. That was going to be legit. Yeah, that was going to be legit. So I think those two teams in the West, that's what I saw the most. The Lakers, I mean, they picked up Aiden. They needed some size, so that was a good pickup for them. I still think they need some wings. Some better wing defenders and stuff like that. I still think they need that. But they did some size.
You need a big man that ain't gonna be able to argue with the coaches and shit. That motherfucker be arguing both places, both Phoenix and in Portland. The rumors were that motherfucker be able to argue with the coaches and shit and whining and shit. I don't know. I think
we ain't gonna have that shit over here in Lake.
JJ ain't gonna
have that.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Yeah. So no. So Lakers. That was a decent pickup. Memphis had a few quiet, low-key pickups. I think, they got rid of Bane because I wasn't big on Bane anyway, but Bane's a good player. But I think they went a little bigger for the two-guard spot. So they picked up some defensive players. They picked up Caldwell Pope. I think Caldwell Pope is a good championship player.
Yeah, I think so too.
Doesn't have on your team. You got Cole Anthony, which was playing pretty decent in Orlando, and I'm not big on.
So why did he never get? why did he never get minutes in Orlando? That don't make sense to me because anytime I'm talking about Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
He
get
scored a
that.
basketball. He scored a basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why he don't. I mean, wouldn't get a minutes like that. But yeah. But they replaced Bane with. I mean, they picked up three pretty decent players. Ty Jerome. I mean, he actually played better than I thought he was. With Cleveland last year.
He scores.
They picked him up too. So they picked up three players to replace Bane. So they did pretty decent.
Yeah.
In the East.
Go ahead. No, go with these.
No. With the East, I'm gonna say Atlanta did pretty good in our free agency, picking up Porzingis. I think that was a very good pickup. They also picked up Alexander Walker from Minnesota.
That was a hell of a pickup.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. And then they picked up a shooter in Kennard. I mean, that's what he can do is shoot the basketball. So I think Atlanta did pretty good.
Kennard, Kennard motherfucker ain't guarding nobody either. So that's why it's good to get all the wings.
He ain't guarding nobody. They gave him a strictly shooting. Look, hey, Kennard, look, we're gonna throw your ball in the corner. If you got a shot, you shoot the ball. If you don't, get that motherfucker up. Because you ain't getting nothing else. You ain't putting the ball on the ground. You ain't doing none of that shit. And, hey, on defense, just stay out the way, motherfucker. Just stay out the way. Okay.
Right.
But Atlanta did good. The Pistons did good with Levert and Robinson. They needed some scoring off the bench. Doug Robinson's gonna bring us some good shooting for him. And then Levert is a good player. You know, he's a good two-way player, playing defense and scoring. So I think Detroit did good. I think my Knicks got a good pickup in Clarkson because they needed some points off the bench. He averaged 16 points last year. I think that was a good pickup as well. But,
hey, Mark. I was kind of suspect on them until I seen they got Clarkson. I was like, okay. Because they haven't really made too many moves.
Yeah,
they needed to get better.
They ain't did shit.
Only thing I'm saying about Clarkson, boy, that motherfucker ain't never seen a shot he didn't like. That motherfucker.
He don't shoot the ball. He don't shoot the ball. He don't give a fuck who his team is.
Everything he touched, boy.
Hey, look, you ain't worried about Brunson taking all the shots then, because that motherfucker Clarkson coming to the game, he gonna be letting that bitch go.
You better not throw it to Clarkson. Hey, Brunson not throw it to Clarkson, he's gonna get it back. And he ain't gonna get it back. I tell you right now, he get that motherfucker back. Clarkson let that motherfucker go. Yeah. But no, overall, Yeah, so that's a couple teams I think on both sides. So
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Tweety, go ahead. We're gonna let you do it.
We get to go. Mark pick all the goddamn teams.
Yeah.
He told everybody. Everything damn ready.
Hey, you got to rehash. You got to rehash and give your reason. Yeah, give your reason.
You got to recap what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, that greedy motherfucker. You got to greedy
motherfucker. The damn Lakers there.
Everything.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of knowledge around this motherfucker. I can't help it.
Okay. Let me think. Fuck, I don't know. Let me.
Don't mention. You can mention the same team.
I want to mention my Lakers. Yeah. My Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers.
That was it right there.
I ain't picked up one player. The Lakers ain't did shit.
$8 million. We got him for $8 million.
Yeah. Once again, you got him cheap. I just think I ain't sold on 8, and I think that motherfucker's the problem. He one of the PlayStation dudes like Kyler Murray too.
We ain't gonna have that shit over here in Lakers.
If he get around the right company, he might be better. I think get around the right company. Get around the right company. He got LeBron in there. I mean, I ain't gonna say Luka, but you got LeBron in there. LeBron gonna put his hands on him. So I mean, let's see what happens. I think
Luka got Gaffrey and Lively paid. So let's see if he can do the same thing with Aiden next year. So he got them paid, and he got who else to get paid? That's only
they got paid because they was able to get a bunch of blocks because his man kept running by wide open, so they was able to show off their block shot skills. That's how he got paid.
Okay, that's okay. But on the East, let me mention one team that Martin did not mention. Maybe the Bucks.
Oh hell!
Oh, Bucks ain't do shit.
Okay, they got what? Kevin Porter Jr.
He already had him.
Kevin Porter Jr.
He already had him.
And you better not mention who I think you're gonna mention. You better not mention who I think you're gonna mention.
Terry Prince.
No, not even.
That was a re-sign. They re-signed him.
Yeah. He's not bad, but I mean,
come on.
Who else they bring in?
Who else they bring in?
Yeah,
I'm waiting on him to say it. You brought him up. Yeah, Turner. I was waiting on him to bring it up.
Turner, after watching him in the finals, I ain't got nothing to say good about Turner.
He didn't play for the Lakers.
No. I didn't play with the Lakers, but I'm saying you talking about the Bucks has some good pickups. I don't know.
Tweety, you know what? After we had finished this, I was going to pose a question of what team disappointed you the most. And you know what team that is for me?
What's
the
that?
fucking Bucks. Every move they made was like fucking unilateral. They didn't do nothing to get better. It's like
I'm just trying to bring up names that Martin didn't mention already. So
okay.
I feel you.
No. I mean, but the Bucks beat up Turner, so they must have confidence in him. After watching him in the finals, I just ain't got no confidence in him.
Is he that much better than Brook Lopez for that money?
He's a younger version. Yeah. He's a younger version.
Younger version. That's all it was.
Younger version, but I
was younger.
Lopez, I don't know. Yeah.
Younger version, right?
Okay.
And they're stripped down. They can't do a whole lot. Go ahead, Tweety. What else you got?
That was it. I mean, shit. I can't think of nobody else.
Okay, I'm gonna say a couple
more too in a minute. Soon as Ryan goes.
I'm gonna say a couple teams. I think in the West, I think the obvious is, as they say, Houston. I think Houston is my favorite right now as it stands to come out of the West. Contrary to the champs being over there, I think that Houston team is gonna be fucking dangerous. I like what they did. They added more depth. They added size. They already had wings. They added more wings. Mm-hmm. They added KD. I think Houston's going to be a motherfucker. And you throw in the fact that they got good coaching. Yeah, I think Udoka is secretly becoming one of the best coaches in the league. No bullshit. From what I've seen out of him the last couple of years.
Sure. Yeah,
so I think that part of it, I think Houston was hands down, did their thing. I think, which Martin pointed out, I think Denver made some good moves. They got some, finally did something after a couple years of doing nothing for Joker. I know Joker went up to the front office, so they made some moves and brought in some additional talent. I think as I look through the rest of the West, on any other teams that did anything, I think just low key, I think OKC did good they re-signed Shea, obviously. They had crazy. They getting decent first round picks. They had a good pick in the draft, and then they signed the guys they need to sign to keep the team together. So I think OKC solidified their thing, because when you're the champs, you want to go out and make wholesale changes. You want to keep the pieces that you got and then run it back. So I think they did the right thing by keeping the guys they need to keep and then setting themselves to be able to run it back. On the flip side of it, that's in the West. Not really happy with the Lakers did. I think the Lakers, like I said, I'm not an Aiden fan, but we'll see what happens under different company, different surroundings, if they can mature him. And I think the Lakers still need to get a wing. They still need to get somebody that can help play D and stop the ball. Now, the talk has been that they might shop Austin Reeves to be able to get somebody that can help defend. Because you can't have both him and Luka on the floor together. I don't think you can be successful having him and Luka on the floor at the same time. Two guys that are defensively challenged. I think it's too much pressure on Ayton or whoever is back there, right? They re-signed Hayes. Hayes is better as a backup, but I think you still got to have somebody on the perimeter that's going to be able to stop the ball and be able to stay in front of people. Like LeBron going to do his best, but he's 41, 42. So, even him, he don't play defense like he used to, although he's much better than the other two guys. So I think they need somebody to play defense. Finney Smith was a big loss for them. I think they got to get somebody that can play on the wings. So that's what I would say about finishing up the West. In the Eastern Conference, I think the teams that 100%, Atlanta probably the top of the list, because Atlanta was totally irrelevant before the draft. They did okay, but in free agency they really helped their chances. And in free agency by picking up Porzingis, picking up getting a shooter, and getting the things they got. I think Atlanta really helped themselves and have themselves as a team that can at least contend in the top 6. They'll be a playoff team rather than a play-in team next year. I think Atlanta has successfully done that, where they've been a perennial play-in team. I think they get into the top 6 and are a top 6 playoff team for next year. So I like what they've done. I think Orlando didn't make a lot of moves, but I do think Bane, because they need shooting, I think Bane was a good pickup for Orlando. in the Eastern Conference, they re-signed Wagner for another big. So I thought that was smart, and I think for them, it's about gelling. I wanted to see them keep Anthony, but they never played him like they should have, and I thought he was the best point guard they had. So, not really crazy about them not keeping Anthony, but if you're not gonna play him, then it don't matter if you keep him or not. You move on. And then lastly, I think the Knicks, why they didn't make a lot of moves, I think the Knicks made enough moves the year before. So now I think adding somebody to come out the bench and get him buckets, because Jordan Clarkson is going to get him buckets. Whether it be high efficiency shooting or it be low efficiency shooting, he going to get him some buckets. That motherfucker going to let that bitch go every time he get it. He ain't never, I think that motherfucker for his career averages one or two assists a game. That's it. He ain't passing that bitch much. So
average 1 or 2 assists, or had 1 or 2 assists his whole career. I don't know if this motherfucker he got that many assists. I'm telling you right now.
It might be he only had 1 or 2 for his career, but I think them adding, that's one thing they missed or lacked was scoring off the bench. So I think that gives them that solidifies their bench scoring, right? So now you can pair him with the guys you get coming off the bench, and you can and I think you're going to be a lot better. I think the Knicks, didn't need to make moves. I think they need to get better. Then lastly, I'll say the Pistons. I was impressed with what the Pistons did. The Pistons went out and made fucking moves. I think they added shooting, which is something they need off, so everything doesn't fall on one player, on Cunningham. I think now when Cunningham drives and kicks, he's got people that can knock down shots. So that's a good thing for the Pistons, and for them, they're looking to mature beyond next year. I would like to see them get one other low post presence. Somebody get them scores in the paint would be nice. But I do think from the standpoint of the game is now the drive and kick game. So I think they're equipped for the drive and kick, and I think they've improved their team, improved their situations, and the Pistons might be a top 3 next season in the Eastern Conference the way it is now. I think they might be a top 3.
Yep, Pistons in Orlando.
The one team nobody mentioned because they didn't do nothing, and to me they needed to do something because the way they got dominated in the playoffs, and they didn't do nothing in free agency, was Minnesota. Minnesota didn't do nothing. Minnesota did nothing. They didn't pick nobody up. All they did was lose people.
Yeah.
And they be a few people, but the way they got dominated last year, they should have been doing something because they went out bad. They went out real bad.
But Nas got that bag, I guess.
Yeah. He got his bag, but he was on that team too last year when they got their ass kicked. So they didn't make no moves. They didn't do nothing.
They didn't make no moves, but re-signing people.
They just lost a couple of people.
Yeah, so I think they're expecting Dillingham to step in and be a player for them next year at point guard. So I think he's going to get more minutes at point guard. I think they're counting what they got, but yeah, they should have did some stuff.
Yeah, they should have got at least a starting point guard, somebody that's gonna
think old boy from Illinois is gonna step it up. I mean, I think you give him time. I think he could.
They need to play Shannon more.
Yeah, they need to play Shannon more. But yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. But they didn't do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, they ain't do shit.
So with that, other these teams that improved, any of them got a legitimate championship run in them? Anybody got a chance? Any of those teams that we named, honestly, not only improved but got a chance to make it to the finals, or let's say Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals. Who are those teams you think advanced their situation where they can make the Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals and potentially the finals? Right. So who do you think? If you narrow it down now, who do you think? So Q, what you think?
You gotta pick one team.
Yeah, pick somebody in the East and West. Yeah. Because now you're not saying just who improved. Like who you think improved enough to make it to the East Conference finals, West Conference finals?
I'm not really for sure about these two teams, but I think it's gonna come down to two teams, and I'm not really for sure about one of these two teams. But, oh my God. I don't want to look crazy. I'm
looking crazy. Let it out.
I'm gonna say the Knicks.
Okay.
That ain't crazy.
No, because I was gonna go with the Pistons because
I knew you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say the Pistons. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I still think that it's just gonna be something we have to see as the season goes. But right now, I'm gonna go with the safe.
Now let's go back to the question though. It's not who you think is going to come out. Is of the teams that we just went through that made changes, which of those do you think made changes that can propel them to the Eastern Conference or Western Conference finals? Who made changes enough to make themselves that much better?
Definitely the Pistons. The Pistons definitely made them just as formidable as any other team in the East.
Okay.
You know, they're just as formidable. They were already pretty formidable last year, and they've only improved on that. Now, yes, the Knicks have gotten better too with Clarkson, but I feel like, man, it's a two horse race over there. You know, so that's what I say on that side.
Okay.
On the other side, I like the moves that Dallas made. Dallas almost went back to that team that almost won them the championship. You know, they surrounded the big man with shooters. They got a decent backup for him. You know, they can go out there and then give some good fouls and rebounds and stuff like that. Just to keep bucket. So I like what Dallas did, and they try to put their name in the hat and get to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Tweety, what you think?
It's going to be for me the Houston West, Houston and Lakers conference finals right there.
Conference finals,
Book
Houston
it.
Lakers. The Lakers, huh? All right,
Yes,
I'm right down the Laker bullshit because they ain't going to the finals. If they don't pick up motherfucking wing, they ain't going to the finals.
Book it.
All right.
Houston Lakers, and then I got the Cavs. I got the Cavs and the Knicks.
I ain't got no faith in the motherfucking Cavs.
Hey, they didn't make no damn move, but
you want us to book that one too?
Book that one, Cavs and the Knicks.
Okay, all right, you go book it.
I'm
writing this shit down because I think you crazy in the motherfucker with.
Are you kidding me?
No faith in the Cavs. I got zero faith in the Cavs. Fuck them. I won't ever say something good about the Cavs ever again. All right, Mark, what you think?
I think in the West, I'm looking at Dallas and Houston. Probably, yeah. I mean, Houston for sure. I think if you give me one choice in the West, it's gonna be Houston. I mean, they making all the right moves for exactly what they needed. So
no, you can do but this one you can do multiple.
Houston and Dallas.
Okay.
Well, Houston for sure, and then Dallas as well. I think question is about Dallas is, can they stay healthy? Right. Can they keep AD healthy? I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
With Dallas, if they stay healthy and they have their whole team there, I think Dallas can be in the West Conference Final and be in the final as well. So, but in the West, it's Houston and Dallas for sure. The East, I'm with all the players and the injuries and everybody that's down. I think the Knicks is going to be that team that's going to have to, they made one move right now, but it was a very big move for them because that was a problem for them. Their bench couldn't provide too much. So and long as the coach is going to be playing them too, but
you like the coach?
Huh?
You like the coach?
I like the coach. I like Mike Brown. I mean, he got the experience and this and that. So I like Mike Brown as coach.
I don't think you get rid of your coach. I don't think you get rid of Thibs to pick up Mike Brown. That was dumb as fuck.
I didn't say I didn't say I liked them getting rid of Thibs. I'm just saying, but but they had to pick somebody. They picked up Brown, but but it was obviously something bigger than just the game.
Yeah,
the reason why they got rid of Thibs.
Right.
It had to be.
Yeah.
It had to be some type of disagreement between him and management or something because that don't make sense that they go to East Conference Final and they one game away from going to the finals and then they get rid of the coach. So it was obviously some disagreement or something between him and management.
Yeah.
But I do think right now the Knicks are in place with all the injuries with some of the other key teams. And then I have no faith in Cleveland. So yeah, I think the Knicks they made the one move that's really going to help them out.
Okay.
To put them in the Eastern Conference and maybe the finals.
You don't have a second team in the East?
No, just got one.
All right, I'm gonna start off, and I'm gonna say for the Eastern Conference, I'm gonna give you two teams. I think the Pistons. I think they prepared themselves and given themselves an opportunity to make a run and get into it. I think the combination of having Cade. When that motherfucker go downhill, I love his game. So now going downhill, you can kick the motherfucker out. I think I like what they did, and then I'm gonna say the Knicks because I think the Knicks hold the team together, resist the temptation to go out and make a bunch of moves, adding a piece in Clarkson, contrary to him shooting that motherfucker every time he get it. I think it's gonna be a positive for them. So I think those two are the teams that I think did enough or controlled the moves they made in order to make a run and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think that's what I would say on the East side. And I think probably if there were a runner-up from that, I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to be a great defensive team next year. So I think they have an opportunity too. But I would take the first two as the primary. I would say when I look over into the Western Conference and the teams I think there is, I already stated for the record that motherfucking Houston team.
Yeah.
Hey, they're gonna be tough to the motherfucker. Right? Ain't nobody gonna want to see them coming. And I predict this: Houston's gonna win 60 games next year. Houston's gonna win 60 games. They won damn near 60 this year with the team they had. They had a flawed scoring. They couldn't score. Houston's gonna win 60 games next year, without a doubt. So I think that's
nobody pick OKC.
They're the first and foremost team. Well, we're talking about made changes and stuff. The team made changes and free agency helped them get there. And I think I have to say the other team that I think is, I would say two other teams. I think Denver made changes. I think Cam Johnson, when you're doubling Joker, I think he's going to hit at a much higher rate and consistency than Porter Jr. did. So I think I like the move Denver made. I think Bruce Brown, I think that may have played itself, him being on that team, because when they got rid of him, but I still think he's going to be a contributor. I think that's going to be a good move for him. And I think getting somebody that can stand in there and do a little bit when Joker's out. I think Valanciunas is capable of doing that. So I think Denver will be one team. The second team that I would say in the Western Conference. And then lastly is, I love the move that Dallas made after all the other moves, picking up D'Lo. I think D'Lo, I'm not a D'Lo fan. I think D'Lo in this role and them salvaging the season by having a point guard rather than going into the season with question marks on point guard because Kyrie's out. I think if Kyrie comes back healthy and you got D'Lo for the first part of it, Dallas may win 60 games, 50-something games, high 50s, maybe 60 games. If Kyrie comes back healthy, then they could be dangerous as fuck. So, because they are much like Houston, the clash of the Titans will be them two fucking teams playing. That's going to be a hell of a battle. And I think them both battling against OKC, I think it's going to be made for TV. So,
TV for sure.
That's what I think.
You finished, Rod?
I'm finished.
I wanted to wheel you back to the Eastern Conference.
Go ahead.
When you said about Atlanta, and you said they'd be a better defensive team. They lost Capella and picked up Porzingis. You think that make them better defensively?
Porzingis is a great shot blocker. He's a good shot blocker, number one. But then I think what happened is they added to their wings. They got wings coming back. They got hurt. They got JJ, Josh Johnson. He had him coming back, and he was a hell of a defender. The only way to being a really good player last year. They got him. They got the boy from France who's a good wing defender, and then the other stuff they add. I think they added enough pieces where their wings now they have good wings. And the key, I think, offensively and defensively in the modern day game is having good wings that are gathered along that can knock down threes, 3-and-D guys, right?
And defend.
Yeah.
But Porzingis only playing 50 games. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He only playing 50 games.
Well, most of these motherfuckers only play 50 games nowadays.
And be healthy.
So what
I tell you what, you get 50 games out of MD, you call that you be a blessed season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the wings, I think the wings that they picked up, they're gonna be Atlanta's gonna be really good defensively. And then you got a big fella behind it.
Yeah,
they shopping John Collins though. So hopefully they don't.
Well, no, Collins just re-up with Utah. He just re-up with Utah.
Okay, yeah.
He was at Utah. He re-up with Utah, so he signed back in. He accepted his player option, and he went back to Utah.
Yeah.
So I think that makes them a good team, and I would say Trae Young learned how to pass the ball a little bit more last year. He had his highest assist season last year, and he led the league in assists. At 11 per game. So I think Trey's growing up, and I think they're going to be a dangerous team. I don't think they're quite ready yet, but I think the other two teams I mentioned are better. And I'm never, ever, ever, ever fucking saying Cleveland again. Never. Never. Cleveland will come out my mouth.
Even if the Browns go back this year?
Even if LeBron go back, I probably can't fuck
Even
Cleveland.
if
I
he
don't
went
know.
back,
I don't know. You might have to
don't
change
think.
that. The Bronco
I don't
thing. You
even
got to
think
change
that'll
that
be
up a little
enough.
bit.
Yeah, I may have to, but as they currently constructed, I don't trust them motherfuckers at all.
I
Yeah,
agree with you.
All right, we got.
yeah, definitely.
You gotta put a little trust in them.
All right, we got a couple quick minutes to
They
hit some baseball real quick. So, what's your biggest surprise going into the midway point? We got almost at the All-Star break, and then what do you see happening on the other side of it? Tweety, you went last on the last one. You go first. I go second. Then we go to you guys after that. But what do you think for baseball? What's your call for baseball?
Well, baseball. All right, let's do it.
LA.
So, only watch one team. And that's the damn Dodgers. That's the only team I watch.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
hey, and Otani, he putting on the show, so he pitching and hitting. So then that's the only team I watch. So I can't give you too much of my expectations on baseball because the Dodgers is it for me.
Dodgers gonna win it all. They're gonna do it all.
They gonna do it all. So that's it. Them Dodgers.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say for me, my surprise teams of the year is I think the Tigers have been surprised, continuing to build off of what they did last year. Obviously they got the best pitcher in baseball. They're gonna fuck me and lose today on the bet because they just gave a home run in the top of the ninth inning. So they're gonna lose 1-1 nothing yesterday. They're gonna lose 1-0 today. But the Tigers have been a good surprise. And then I didn't expect Houston to continue to be as good as they've been again this year. So I would say Houston has been the surprise for me, the other surprise team for me on the American League side. And then I think when you look on the flip side of it, but when you look at the Tigers in Houston, one of the drivers in it is look at their team ERA. They're both top 5 ERA in the league. And then look at their strikeouts. So pitching has led the way for both of them, and it has aided both of them. And then I think on the National League side, the Dodgers come no surprise, but I would say the Cubbies and the Cubs once again their pitching has been good, and they've been a welcome surprise on that side. So that's probably just the only surprise team I say on that side. And I think for the coming out of the All-Star break, the team to watch, I think the Tigers are going to be a team to watch. I think the Tigers are a team to watch, and I'll be rooting for them. And then I think on the other side of it, the Dodgers are going to always be dangerous, right? When you stack the lineup that much, then you're going to always be dangerous. So, Mark, what you got?
On the American League side, I mean, the Tigers has been playing very well. I mean, they have the pitching. They probably got the best pitcher in baseball, screwball. So the Tigers going to be there in the end. To me, in the American League, the Astros have not the biggest surprise has been the Astros though, because I didn't expect them to even be in any talk right now. But
me neither.
Right now they're 54-35, and they done won 8 out of the last 10. So the Astros is a very big surprise.
And who they beat up on the last 2 games? They didn't beat up on somebody last 2 games. 18-1 the other day.
I'm sorry, as Dodgers.
Yeah, they beat them Dodgers ass.
I hope you watch that because they've been kicking the Dodgers ass.
I saw that.
They also
18-1.
But they also have one of the best pitchers ERA wise in Hunter too. So Hunter Brown. So he got an ERA up under 2. So they have that star pitcher to lead the way. So I think the Astros is probably the biggest surprise because the Tigers did make the playoffs last year. It just going off that momentum from last year, but the Astros, I'm very shocked where they at right now. In the National League, I mean the Dodgers doing their thing. I mean they're in first place, of course, but the Cubbies, they're probably the biggest surprise in the National League. Didn't expect the Cubbies to be 53-36. As of right now, I'm almost halfway through the season. They ain't won 7 out of the last 10, so the Cubs, but. To me, the National League is kind of up in the air too, though, because you still got the Phillies. The Phillies can step up anytime. They have the pitching, they have the hitting. So watch out for the Phillies. So I think in the National League, it's like a 4-team race actually. for the National League. American League, I think, is probably just them two right now, the way the American League I'm looking. But the National League, I think it's a 14 race with the Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies, and you can't count the Padres. So I think it's a 14 race in National League.
Okay.
Very interesting.
All right, Q, you wrap us up.
You know, it's all me, all Detroit, all the time. So, like y'all been saying, our Detroit team steamrolled off of what they already had going on, and that's great. Like you say, we got the best pitcher in the game. They will be there at the end. So I do have them, and I picked them at the beginning, and I'm gonna pick them now, coming out, going to that big game. On the other side, on the National League, of course, the Dodgers are always, that team. They always a team. But one team has surprised me that when Martin said something about this team when we first asked about teams you may think about doing something, and he said the Mets. And I said, the Mets? I said, you have lost your fucking mind. I said, ain't no way the Mets is doing nothing. But guess where the Mets at? Half a game out of first place. So hats off to this man. He knows his baseball. He picked it up.
After struggling for the last month. They struggled the last month, and they still are in pretty good shape. They have good pitching. Good pitching. They made some good pickups. So all right. Hey, it looks like we've exhausted our time here today. Any closing thoughts anybody wants to throw out for NBA, for the big boxing match, or for baseball before we jump off?
Just real quick. Hey, that boxing match. Hey, tune in because I think it's gonna be something special. Crawford gonna do big things. Crawford get the W. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward for Crawford to win too, and I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Much CTV, like you say.
Hey, my boy Tato is rolling over in his wherever he's at because he's a diehard Canelo fan. But Tato, I have to tell you, as I said earlier, the only thing that beats a great, and I think Crawford classifies 41-0, a great black fighter is another great black fighter. Look at it through history, and I'll tell you, you'll find that to be true. Crawford wins that fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an epic event, but I think in the end, Crawford's going to outbox him.
I think so too. As long as he on his game.
Canelo ain't no punk though. Canelo ain't no punk. Canelo's a bad boy.
Yeah,
Canelo's a bad boy too though. Yeah, give Canelo some props.
Canelo ain't gonna lay down. I like Canelo. Yeah. Canelo's a bad boy. He's not gonna lay down.
He's not swinging. Yeah,
it's gonna be a great fight.
Crawford's gonna have to beat him. Right? He ain't gonna. He's not gonna stay back and then be unaggressive and beat himself. He's gonna be coming. He's gonna be charging forward. So it's gonna be a hell of a fight.
So. Yeah, it's gonna be a great fight.
All right. With that, time to wrap. Hey, once again, we appreciate all that jumped on and/or view today's podcast. I know it's holiday weekend, so it's probably a little touch and go for some folks. But hey, appreciate you jumping on. We have more hot shit coming to you next week. Hey, and we got, as you can see, we got that hood gear, baby. That hood gear's out. The hood gear shop. Please jump on and get you some fresh shit like we got.
That's right.
And with that, Tweety, hit him.
Like and subscribe. Hood Report 2025.
Hey, we love you. Thank you very much.